This was the part where we were supposed to dance. You forgot to do the thing. Okay.
Repeat.
Maybe next time. Maybe when we leave the stage. Hello everyone, my name is Sandra Sarav. I have the longest title in the world, but basically I work for the Estonian government in short. With me today I have really cool panelists. I have Leonardo from Work in Estonia, I have Tuuliki from WISE, and I have Eric from Census Q. I'll allow you each to do the shortest pitch you've ever done on the company or who you are. Starting with Leonardo, go.
All right. So, hi everyone, thanks for the invitation. My name is Leonardo and I am the head of the Work in Estonia program. So basically, I try to promote Estonia as a destination for other internationals to come here. And me, myself, I'm from Mexico originally.
And I am Tuuliki. I'm People Partners Function Lead at WISE. And WISE is global fintech company. Currently, we have over 5,500 people globally. And we are one of the Estonian unicorns that was founded 13 years ago by two Estonians, Kristo and Taavet.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric. I'm from Census Q. We're an Estonian startup. We have 30 people, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Census Q, so do pretty much everything, including attracting talents.
Nice, very well done. I can approve. So I'm Sandra and I'm a natural nomad, as you can see. But today we talk about not only digital nomads, but we talk about people who for some reason want to come to Estonia. The weather's been amazing this week, so I can fully get it. But who want to work here, who want to relocate here. And what can we do as government and what can we do as companies to attract more talent to come to Estonia? And we need more talent, trust me, because if we look at the numbers, in many sectors in Estonia over the next 10 years, 1/3 of the workforce will retire. If we look at industry, which is the biggest contributor to Estonia's GDP, over the next 10 years, we will be lacking 2/3 of engineers. I mean, if we look at the ICT sector, yes, the government has done quite a few things correctly, such as the startup visa, but still, I mean, most of the companies cite the top 3 problems: access to capital, and then the second one, access to talent. So what can we do as governments and what can we do as companies to attract more talent? And is Estonia an attractive place? This is what we will be discussing today. So to kick off, I will start with you, Leonardo. And I would like to ask, what is Estonia doing and how attractive Estonia is right now for foreign talent?
I think, like in a nutshell, what we are trying to do is to tell people, right? People want to go live and work in cool places. So I think it's Latitude, for example, an example of how cool Estonia is. So what we try to do with the Work in Estonia is we try to tell more people around the globe that Estonia is actually a cool destination to work and live.
Who thinks Estonia is cool? Please raise your hands. Okay.
All right. So we have done our job good with these people. Now you need to go and invite a friend over, right, to come and tell them. But getting noticed is one of the things that we actually do. Marketing campaigns, we work with the companies to let them get more visibility. And I think that's one of the things that is working because, for example, in the Global Talent Competitiveness Index, we have risen, and currently we're holding number 12 place for talent attraction.
Globally?
Yeah, globally. And also in one of the biggest expat surveys, the Internations, also in the category of work and life balance, then we have been in 2023 number 1. So some things we are doing good, and by we mean the companies that are, right, that they are working and handling the people. So that's what we are trying to do. And not only attraction, but when people come here, that their expectations that they have, that it's a cool place because we have told them, that we try to keep them up with, right? Like we have an international house where they can get information, get kind of all the help that they need. And also, for example, if they want to learn the language, etc., then we provide them with different services for the companies, their families, and also the internationals as well.
How often does it happen that people come to Estonia and ask, so where is the digital country you have promised us?
It's very often, but that's a cool thing about the digital country, right? You're not supposed to see it.
Exactly.
You're just supposed to experience it.
I've had to explain to friends coming over from Germany, so you promoted Estonia as an E-country, so where is the E?
Yeah, but the fact that you don't see it, that's I think that we are doing the right job, yes.
But Tuuliki, you are literally working with bringing talent to Estonia. How easy is it these days to convince people to come to Estonia?
Thank you for doing the amazing job. It has enabled us to grow our teams in Estonia. Currently, we have more than 2,000 WISErs in Tallinn office. This is our largest hub. And if we think about our diverse teams, then we have more than 100 different nationalities represented only within our Tallinn teams, which makes us as diverse and inclusive as our London team, where we have our headquarters. So it has been possible largely thanks to our scale-up visa and startup visa before, and clearly Estonia is still an attractive place. It's considered as a startup paradise.
Top 12 in the world, we heard.
Top 12 in the world, which clearly makes it easier for us to attract talent. Clearly, we need to make extra efforts from our side as well. And there's many things to improve, but I think that we can talk about that a bit later.
Okay, amazing. Eric, how about you? How easy is it for Census Q to tell, oh, we're building this cool stuff in Estonia, come to Estonia? How many ask, what's Estonia?
Well, most of them know. We're from the defense tech sector, so obviously Estonia has been in the news with regards to defense. The types of people often, there's kind of two types. There's one who knows everything about Estonia, they know about defense, they want to come, it's a hub. The other part is you're thinking about kind of salespeople or engineers. There might be some convincing to do, especially regarding the defense aspect. So, they are not, they don't look at the statistics. They don't care about, how many artillery shells we have. They're kind of vice-based. So, they see some kind of newspaper articles. The Guardian goes to Narva. They have a question like, how safe is it? Should I come here?
Yeah.
And I think that's really the balance you have to strike. On the one hand, it's a good thing. On the other hand, you have to do the explaining that, we're still, it's a normal country.
So it doesn't affect engineers as much as it affects art, because I read from a newspaper that one Spanish museum refused to send their artifacts, their pieces to Tallinn because they thought we're in the war. So, but engineers, they realize we're not in a war. That Berlin is closer to Kiev than Tallinn.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we discussed workforce needs, but I'm a firm believer that we don't want foreign talent only because we need them, because we don't have sufficient workforce here in Estonia. I believe in diverse teams. If you look at different studies, for instance, one by the Boston Consulting Group, they said that companies which have diverse leaderships invest more into innovation and actually end up having 20% higher revenues because they have diverse teams. So, Leonardo, can you share some collaboration between public and private sector when we look that we don't only want to bring in talent because we need it, because we want to bring it because we want to be more diverse in Estonian companies?
I think kind of the best example of it we have is that we have consultations, right, with the companies, and then they come to us because they have a question of how do I bring X person because we need to fill on a position. But then we try not to tell them only that you do it like this and the paperwork is that, but actually what are the other benefits that you're going to be seeing? You're going to have a diverse team. You're going to have a way of different, how to look at things differently, how to solve problems. Here you perhaps access to a new market because you're going to have somebody else. You're going to help with export. You're going to it has so many different kind of places that it's going to help the company, not only that you're going to fill a position. So by explaining that to all the companies that are interested in hiring from abroad, I think that's where we can just change the narrative. And besides as well that in addition to that, each highly qualified job can create 5 to 7 new jobs in other areas, depending on the different studies that you look at. So that is one of the things that we try to highlight when people or companies are trying to hire from abroad.
Thanks. Eric, how about defense tech? How do you feel? Do diverse teams have added value in your sector as well?
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about building a company in Estonia or building defense tech products or really any product, you start off immediately as a global kind of company. You don't have the opportunity to earn the revenue you need for fundraising in Estonia, so you have to look at global markets from the beginning. And what that means, especially in defense tech, which is at times, the national markets can be quite restrictive, kind of protectionist. You need someone who is an expert. So if you want to sell to Germany, you probably have to hire someone who's either German, has lived in Germany, has experience with the German market. So really from the very beginning.
Can speak German and not only the language, but can speak to Germans.
You need to find for each kind of market segment or kind of broad range, geographic range, you need to find someone who knows that. And obviously what this means is you have to be able to onboard them, and there's a chance you might find them in Estonia. We have some people who we found from Estonia who are very good with the UK market, they're very good with other markets, but generally you also have to look at bringing the people here. Yeah. So I think that's really important in our market as well.
And I think it's now suitable to make this very crappy joke. So who thinks Estonia has the most unicorns per capita in the world? Please raise your hand. Okay, who thinks Estonia has the second most unicorns per capita in the world? Okay, some people know. But actually, Estonia has the second most unicorns per capita in the world, but we are #1 in supermodels per capita in the world. So I think this helps actually in bringing foreign talent in.
You were telling also #1 in eating ice cream, right?
#1 in eating ice cream as well. So yes, Estonia is a fun place to be. But when we come back to the culture and diversity, you know the best from WISE perspective, from startup or now scale-up perspective. How important is it to have diversity in a team such as WISE's team?
It's extremely important. Of course, WISE is a global company. We are operating all around the world. But it's same important for really small startups as well, to really start focusing on it on day one, to start thinking how to build those diverse thinking teams, inclusive company environment and company culture to attract and retain the talent. Clearly, we are focusing at WISE to build diverse teams as diverse customer base we have, because it's very difficult to build product from Estonia for US market if we have like few Americans in the team, but we need to have really this very good mix of this global diverse thinking. So what do we do for that? We really try to be deliberate when like building teams to have different educational backgrounds, different companies' backgrounds, introverts, extroverts, really diverse thinking to ensure that we have inclusive environment and safe space to ask questions and make proposals. Hey, have you considered about this or that? Because this really enables us to build innovative solutions. And on the reasons why should we focus on DEI, I would just add a few more facts. Inclusive companies actually are able to build innovative solutions like 1.7 times more compared to teams who don't care about building inclusive teams. And actually, companies that focus on diversity and inclusion, they are like 36% more profitable compared to their competitors. And if we think about global scaling companies, then clearly inclusive companies and diverse companies are 70% more likely to expand to global markets. So there's many reasons why to do that and start thinking about already from day one.
I started thinking whether it applies for governments as
Yes.
well. Normally governments are, not very diverse, right?
But,
so the secret behind an agile government is bringing in more Leonardos to work.
I was going to say, yes, like I think you have a Mexican working here at Talent Attraction, but one of the teams, right, the e-residency, and then they have like also like many internationals that would say that actually it's one of the teams that also generates more cool ideas in that sense for the sector.
And e-residency has the highest ROI of any government program, and so maybe this the secret lies
right,
there. Yeah. But okay, so diversity, it's hugely important. But when we do attract talent who comes from outside of Estonia, they come to Estonia, and let's say the wife gets the job and the spouse doesn't get the job. How can we be helpful?
I mean, that's when we take a look at just talent attraction, it's not only that, right? It's like building the whole ecosystem for them. So the way we do it, the government-wise, is we try to look at, as any company would do actually, like government as a service, and the more you want to try the service provide as good as it can be. So from the start to the end, talent attraction, nice campaigns, the reception, the onboarding with the international house. If they're going to have questions later on about migration, the kids into going to school, we also have a program for that. And when you mention spouses, that's a very important thing because sometimes companies maybe can forget that they're not inviting people only to work, but they invite people to work and to live. So also, after the 5 p.m., then what are you going to do? And if their spouse is not having a job or any like professional output, which many times they are as highly qualified or even more than the person that was invited, then that is resources we can use. So we have created a program that also has a very high ROI. and then where we help them find that job. So we not only gain the specialist that the company's invited, but some other company gets another specialist. And then we have like people that are super happy that are willing to talk about it, like, hey, I chose Estonia because they had something to offer for me. They value that. So I think also by having just even a program that invites people to work in Estonia, that sends the right message, right? Like, you are welcome here. So that's what we're trying to do. You are welcome to come here, and you're welcome to stay here.
Do you think, thanks Leonardo, do you think Estonian government has been helpful in bringing in talent to Estonia? Or,
yes.
Or are we actually hampering bringing in people? I mean, just share your honest opinion.
I can share my experience from WISE and from my previous organizations where I was HR lead as well, and I can confirm that in Estonia, as we are so small, we are collaborating very closely with public sector as well. If there is a problem we need to solve as a company, we are just reaching out to the government institutions and to the third sector to really find solutions together. And I can say that I have felt like strong collaboration. Clearly, like if I think about how WISE wants to grow even more in the next year, we need more of these services. English-speaking family physicians, schools, kindergartens. We need all the infrastructure. It needs to be ready if we want to help companies grow, because it's not just growing by 10 people, but it's growing by hundreds or even thousands. So we just need to enable that, we get ready for that. And of course, there's many small things that we could do better. Like clearly, Estonian government is very agile because we are small, and similarly to many companies in Estonia, it's small teams, and we need to do more with less people compared to many other countries. But for example, how to reduce the administrative burden. If I would like to invite a team member from Asia or Latin America to Estonia just for a few months on a business trip, I need to start assessing, okay, I need to register the employment, what is their average salary, what could be the tax implications if we would need to compensate the missing part, etc. It's extra hassle, so it's so much easier to just relocate those Estonians for a few weeks or a few months to another country. So clearly there's some small things that we could improve even more to enable this collaborative learning and mobility for global talent, and to enable the local teams here in Estonia to learn from this experts from other countries. So clearly there's like small things we could improve even more. But I think it's important that all companies, employers just speak up, and let's try to find those solutions.
Thank you. In the meantime, I remind you that you can use the Votemo app to upload your questions as well via the QR code. But staying on the topic, Eric, I mean, you're a chief strategy officer, so you don't directly bring in talent, or do, in a company of 30. Is this your job as well? And what are your expectations towards the government to help you?
No, definitely. I mean, in this size, sub 50 people, you don't have those clearly defined roles often. And even if it's not directly my day-to-day job, when it's needed, I still do it. And I manage this part as well, along with my teammates. But I think something that was said about the administrative burden is real. As a small startup, we still don't have anybody that does HR directly. I've never done, I'm Estonian. I've never thought about the process of coming from a non-EU country and coming to Estonia. So, the first step is you find a candidate, someone comes, you're like, yes, you get the candidate, but then you realize, oh, there's like this follow-on activities that go for months. And then there's like, the guy comes up to you, he has, 5 emails only in Estonian from the police and border guards. He has to go there, doesn't understand it. I don't understand it, I've never done it. And we really kind of saw the process, and it's lengthy, and the time to actually get the person on board, like completely, legally, fully, and everything that he feels comfortable, or she in our company, it was longer than I thought. And I think it's really about improving that flow, that as a small company, what to expect. Because this was one of the first times we've done this, and there were major surprises in the place. Like nothing went really wrong, but it's just the things that, if I plan my week to do X, Y, Z, suddenly you have 3 additional things that come from onboarding a single person. So I think if you lower that entry barrier, or at least you make the documentation better, what the flow is, this means that companies can start bringing in this global talent earlier in their stages. They don't have to raise 5 million and build a HR department to be able to do this, but you can actually it doesn't take that much of your work week to onboard these people or to actually bring them here.
And this is only the bringing them in part. And then you have to start thinking about integration. How well is this managed in Estonia? Leonardo, you speak later. Okay. Let's allow the companies to say what they feel like. How is the integration bit?
I mean, again, depends wholly, I guess, on the single cases. Definitely, I mean, Estonia is, I've spoken to people in my company and in other companies throughout the years who've moved to Estonia, be that from EU or from outside EU. I mean, generally, I think the kind of first initial steps to blend in and to understand, that's quite easy. Everyone speaks English. You have, finding an apartment is easy.
But not finding friends.
Yeah.
In the expats in Tallinn group, someone wrote just a couple of days ago, hello, I've been in Estonia for a couple of months already and I don't have any friends. It's so frustrating. And then people started answering, only a couple of months, you have high expectations, my friend. Estonians don't make friends that easily,
Yeah, and it takes time. And I mean, it's about the cultural aspect as well. Learning the language, you pick up some of the language. Do you do, the actual effort? You want to go to courses, learn Estonian? And I mean, it depends. We have one person who's been in Estonia for over 5 years, and they are, they understand Estonian, they can speak some of it, they watch Tulnukas, they laugh. We have, a new guy who came from the UK, he'd only been here, less time, understands some Estonian, doesn't laugh when Tulnukas comes, still has some work to do.
Tulnukas is an Estonian movie that's supposed to be funny, but I'm not so sure. I'm sorry. We're almost running out of time. Any comments on integration bit?
I would just quickly add that, like Wise has, as we are just so much bigger, 2,000 people, then we have our own communities. So we have a lot of different nationalities, and we have themselves supporting each other. Already in the newbies onboarding group, I hear them asking questions. Where did you find the rental? Which area? Shall we do something together in the evening? So they are already connecting from the beginning, and of course that's what we want to do as well. It's easier for them to support each other instead of building a massive people team to try to support, but they are creating those communities, and we are just enabling them doing that.
And for expats in Estonia who haven't made any friends, come to CrossFit. You will make friends there. Leonardo?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to maybe just take words. It's definitely, there is things that we can always improve, right? The government, either it is us who is doing it daily, or at the ministries who are doing the change of regulations, but it's good to hear that, and as Tuuliki says, that to speak up, right? So it's a kind of an open invitation to everybody that wants to make Estonia kind of a better place for working and living, because we can do it, to really take advantage that there is a program, and that if we're not doing things right, and that we can always do better. And also, if you haven't found friends, then we have a kind of a program for that. There's a meet and greet. And one thing that we have noticed is that we would also need more Estonians to come there, because the international community, maybe it's within themselves, but we want also the Estonians to take advantage of the talent socially as well.
Perfect. Okay, we're down to 15 seconds. One word, why should people come to Estonia? If you can say only one word, why they should come to Estonia, starting with you, Erik. 2
words, Estonian summer.
Which lasts for 2 days. Yeah. Tuuliki.
Working smart. It's 2.
It's also 2. Leonardo, 1 or 2 words.
E-Estonia.
E-Estonia. Okay, perfect. So welcome to Estonia. We're happy to help you bring your talent in or help you make friends. Thank you so much. Give it up for the panel.